Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. I'm Carlos and this is Diego. We're going to be watching a few games of both Super Smash and Valorant, okay? It was an exciting weekend this much. Okay, so now our first match is starting off with Team B, who played against uh, the BCS Zenith, which if you have never seen them before, they're tough. Yeah, don't underestimate them. But yeah, we're going to be watching a match, okay?
And so I'm going to be the first player, and then Carlos, and then Mauricio.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're starting off with Diego playing as Pitt, and the first player on their team as Joker. Traditionally, I'm a Joker main here. But yeah, quite a bit of interesting moves in my end. Okay.
Yeah, so I chose Dark Pit because I found that it worked very well against practicing against Carlos when he played Joker.
Mm-hmm.
But this Joker plays a very different game compared to Carlos's.
Yep. Along with a different tactic at this one, where you just saw he ran for a counter at that point. Basically, his entire and he loses sock because fell too far. But anyways, yeah, his entire tactic based off bait and follow up with a counter. Yeah, which traditionally here I don't do much. So Diego had a bit of trouble here facing against someone whose tactic was that entirely. Yeah. He almost died right there for a bit. But, yeah. Oh. Anyways. Okay, good side B. Yeah, ooh. Down smash. A very good way to pull out because it's very fast for Joker. Anything you want to say, Diego?
Yeah. So when Dark Pit uses side B quite at ledge, but right before it, a lot of people don't expect it. And so it manages to hit them and deal quite a bit of damage without them expecting it, which allows me to then just fall to the ground safely.
Fun fact for those Joker mains, Joker's Arsene, once it got done, when it appears, apparently has a hitbox. So, yeah, don't waste bullets or arrows or any projectiles at it. It won't go through. But, yeah. Okay. Ooh. Another down smash kill right there. But, yeah, right now, Joker is in the lead with 2 stocks, but in percentage-wise, no. Mm-mm. But, yeah, still. Yeah, it keeps getting that edge guard. Yeah. Basically, Arsene just becomes a bit more broken once he comes out. Joker becomes more broken when Arsene comes out. But, yeah.
So, Smash Team A played this team last week, and we noticed that this Joker was very spammy with his counter. And so I tried to bait out the counter a lot, but then he would do it again, or he would hold it longer, and just be very unpredictable the whole time. Which is why Dark Pit didn't work so well against this Joker.
Yep. And also, we don't practice this type of tactic much, so yeah. Right now, Pitt is about almost near death right there. Ooh, and gets killed with back air. Okay, so very much an interesting match. So we're moving on to the next one. which is again Diego, but instead of being Dark Pit, switches into Bowser, while the other teammate stays the same. Yeah, switch to Bowser. So why did you switch to Bowser in the first place?
So he's a lot heavier and he can punish mistakes very easily. And also because he has a command grab, it goes through counters because he grabs before dealing damage. So those were the main reasons. The main problem is that Bowser is very heavy and can be comboed very easily.
That is. But yeah. Right now, Bowser looks like he's about to die at any minute right now. Makes a good recovery from that. Tries going for his side smash, but gets a good counter with side smash from Joker. Okay. Followed up with a good combo from Joker there.
Yeah, so I'm kind of stuck on the platforms here, but then I get back down. But then I just get sent straight back up.
Yep. Bowser, depending on what type of tactic you're playing with Bowser here, if you're going more like a jumping and then coming down with down B or down air, then typically you wouldn't want the stages to have like platforms in it. You would want like an empty stage, like Pokemon Kalos or Final Destination. But if you are typically known for like comboing with the platforms, I highly recommend using platforms whenever you do that. Yeah. Along with Joker. Joker works with platforms too. But not the middle one. The middle one seems to be just a little too far for Joker. Yeah. Anyways, so how were you feeling after playing this match? Well, during it.
Well, it's very frantic, especially right now, and then the side B, when our center's out, has like a lingering hitbox, and it hit me and forced me too low. And so right now I'm just trying my best to stay out of the combos and whiff punish, like I do there, so now it's almost even, despite him having done so much.
I don't know. Yeah, but anyways, yeah. We keep on going with this match. Right now they're about evenly tied with one stock to each other. Almost. With the same stock. They have the same stock, but in percentage-wise, no,
Yeah,
they're
but you know
different.
that the percent matters. So say what matters.
Yeah, so if that forward smash had hit earlier, he would have died there and I would have won the game. But he was just out of range of it. He tries to get me with the lingering hitbox again, but misses this time. And then he just kills with a dash attack.
Yep. Now then, we move over, which those two games were quite interesting and yet close too, with both Diego and Joker. Now then, we move on to our next match, which is my game against the second player who plays Sora. Sora is a light character with a blade and has 3 different type of elemental attacks that he can use, which are Fragra, Fraga. Yeah, I may mispronounce some of these titles, so yeah. But anyways, yeah. Right now, what I've seen, I tried. I practice against. Yeah, Gadiel against a Sora, and thought of some counters I can use against Sora. Yeah, it's hard to do that when you don't get a good opportunity. And counter thing, yeah, it's hard to pull off a good counter on him because his teammate is the one with the counters so much. So that way, he has practiced that so much, and now he can easily know when a counter is about to go hit with ease. Yeah, so countering. Oh right.
So here you see the Sora do nothing, which is a good tactic sometimes, because people are not expecting it. Like Carlos wasn't expecting it there. He thought maybe the controller disconnected or something and stopped, which allowed the Sora to just get up and walk away. And so Sora is a very floaty character in that he can stay in the air for much longer and move around a lot. His aerials are very combo based. And he also has some kill power, especially with his up B, which is very quick out of shield. And then there he saw that Carlos air dodged and was ready with a forward smash.
Yep. So, yeah. I had a very struggling time with this because Sora basically knew the entire thing of my character and thus had many good counters for him too. Yeah, it's tough to be able to get a good stock off him. Yeah. Almost gone for lightning there, but yeah. Anyway.
So the Sora is just moving around him, trying to get a good hit in and almost kills with the forward smash, but Carlos reacts on time to block it. And so the Sora just keeps going, staying on him, doing aerials. And because he's so floaty, it's really hard to follow up on a lot of things like throws. And there, that almost kills, but not quite. If that had been a little lower, it would have possibly stage spiked. But
Yep.
then the up B, again, it has very high kill power and just kills him straight right there.
So we move on to our second game where we stood the same. Both I stood with Joker and he stood with Sora. But this time we're playing it on a stage where Joker has the advantage here a bit. But nevertheless, struggling time for me here.
Yeah, like right there, he tried to perform a combo that is very basic and simple, but because Sora's is so floaty, he just didn't even get hit by it.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Anyways, yeah. I tried going for a dash attack. He keeps blocking it. There, I could have done some other something else, but at the time of when you play, you don't think straight. So you do think of improv, but instead you're stressed out a bit. That's the best description I can give you guys. But yeah, I thought he would try doing another one, but nevertheless got me through there.
So Sora's blade, the very tip of it, it looks like a key. The very tip of it deals a lot more damage and kills a lot quicker. And so this Sora is very good at spacing it out and getting some early kills off of forward smash. And he's doing pretty well at avoiding projectiles. He's countering some of them, and Sora's counter doesn't deal damage to himself.
There, I got a good counter off him, but nevertheless didn't kill him through there, unfortunately. But there, however, I got him through a dash attack, which I believe out of the two matches, this was my first one.
Yeah, so Sora has a lot of options when he's not on ledge. Like earlier, he did a down air, which moves him down, and then he did an up B up to ledge. So Carlos couldn't follow him up on that, but did get him on the ledge.
There, he got a good stage spike from there, which, honestly, Joker has a good recovery, but yet still easily counterable with stage spike, unfortunately. So, yeah, either you act fast, or you just wait it, or you just accept their death.
Yeah, stage spikes are technically preventable, but it's very hard to expect it when it's going to happen, and you need to be expecting it in order to be able to react to it.
Yep.
And here you see the Sora. Sora has a side B that can either home in on the opponent or move away. And so there he did the smart thing of heading away.
Yeah.
But then it sends him into free fall at the end, and so he accidentally inputted it and fell down.
Yeah. There, that almost got me if I hadn't done down B, but nevertheless, yeah. Right now, that got me.
Yeah, they clanked hits,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
the Sora didn't get sent very far because he was at low percent, but
Hmm.
Carlos's character died.
Yep. Now then, we move on to our next game, which we did this third match for fun and also for practice too.
And this was Mauricio's match.
Yep.
Started the recording.
Yeah.
And we started the recording late.
Which, yeah. So we move on to the next game, which, like Diego said, Mauricio, and his opponent is Pyramithra. For those who don't know how Pyramithra works exactly, Pyramithra is a two for one deal here, where instead of just one normal character, it would just be two characters instead of one, which, think of it as Pokemon Trainer, but if there was only two typing, really. But yeah, each one has pros and cons here.
And then Mauricio's playing Wolf, who is an interesting character because he's both fast and slow in the way that he plays. So he has a lot of quick moves that deal damage, and he also has a lot of slow moves. And he also has a very good projectile in the form of his laser because it stuns a long time. And so right here, Wolf is just able to weave in and out.
There, Pyramithra was able to get a kill off by using neutral B, and accidentally SD'd herself.
Self-destructed.
Yeah, that's what it's usually.
And so they're about even.
Yep.
And so they're both playing characters that can move around quite a bit. So they're just weaving in between each other, trying to get damage.
Another neutral B there, which is oddly good. But yeah. Basically, the difference between them is like one of them is slow but hits hard. The other is fast but also hits less than the other. But yeah. They do make a pretty good combo.
And so they're both at pretty high percents. Either of them could die at any second. And Mauricio successfully avoids the projectile there. And the opponent is playing with Pyra, which is a good call because Mauricio's at a somewhat high percent, and Pyra kills very quickly at this percent. But Mauricio gets a forward smash read on his opponent and wins game 1.
Yep. Now then, we move on to our second match where they stood the same, both the Wolf and Pyramithra. Yep, but this time on Final Destination, which
Which is no platforms.
yeah, which I believe is good for both of them, right?
Yeah, Wolf doesn't really have many things that he can do with platforms. Pyra and Mithra do, but they're not essential. And again, with the neutral B, it kind of makes the sword rotate around Pyra and kind of sucks the opponent in.
Which does a fairly good amount of damage. But yeah, right now they're just trading blows here and there a bit.
Yeah, the Mithra is a full stock lead and just keeps getting more and more damage.
Almost hit him, but thanks to accidentally dodge, roll.
Yeah, he dodged it, but then walked back into it.
Yep.
And then Pyra's forward smash does a lot of knockback, and so it just killed there.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah. Okay. Mauricio was able to get a good down smash there because depending on how they did it, either they could have jumped over it, or they could have just rolled or just got him normally. Down smash would have just covered 2 of which only left 1. But yeah, Wolf was able to get a good stop in Pyro's Mithra recovery.
Because of the laser, it stuns for a lot, and Mithra already used her jump.
Yep. And their downward recovery, their underside recovery of stage,
does not work very well without their jump.
yeah,
They can't go very far.
yeah, all along with very, very questionable. But yeah.
And yeah, the up B catches Mauricio, and he dies, so they're tied 1-1.
Yep. And yeah, we move on to our next match, which is
They both switch.
yeah.
His opponent switches to Ike, and Mauricio switches to Piranha Plant.
Yep. Piranha Plant is it's a surprising character because he has many weird things that goes quite well with them. For example,
But the Ike just gets in forward smash in with the sweet spot of his sword. And it's a very hard hitting forward smash. It's similar to Ganondorf's.
yep. But yeah, was able to get a good spike ball hit from there. Ooh, okay. Nice stop in his track with again the spike ball.
Yeah, so Piranha Plant's neutral B has him spit out a ball, a spiked ball, and he can hold it as long as he likes.
Yep.
In fact, when Piranha Plant first came out, it was a common thing for people to do that. They would hold it out and then wait for the person to come hit them, so that the ball would fall onto them.
Yeah.
And here he gets a kill because the Ike has to avoid the spiked ball to survive, but he's far too low down.
Yeah, it's able to make a good recovery there. So, yeah. That spike ball would have hit him if the invincibility frames would have just worn off just a few milliseconds earlier. But, yeah. Tried going for the up smash, so that way he can get a good kill off that.
Yeah, Ike's kit has a lot of things that kill very early. Most of his, like even his forward tilts kills at like 100. And a lot of things kill earlier, especially his up B.
Yep.
But here Mauricio catches Ike doing, and then Piranha Plant dies off the down smash.
Yep. So that's our team, which was quite interesting. Yeah. Well then, we're off to go ahead and take just a small break for a bit. We'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. We're back, and now we're commentating on Smash Team C's games this week, which is Tyrell, Emily, and Jose.
Mm-hmm.
The first player up is Tyrell playing Cloud against a Steve.
Yep. Or for those people who usually get picky about the name, Enderman, which, in my opinion, doesn't matter. It's the same character.
Yeah, they have the same moveset. And so immediately Tyrell's just staying on him.
Mm-hmm. Tried going for a magma block there, but misses, unfortunately. Yeah, try that again. But yeah.
Yeah, Tyrell knows a lot of Steve's tricks. So he is very wary of like up smash, which kills pretty early, and minecart.
Yep. Which, gets caught under stage, unfortunately. Now then, back to what I was saying. Steve's minecart can also trap the enemy inside of it for just a bit. They just have to smash out of which, but yeah.
Yeah, that's why Tyrell's avoiding it.
Yeah.
And he's just staying on his opponent because Steve needs resources to do his moves. Yeah. As you can see above his name, there's like a bar with materials, and he has to mine those to use things.
Like the dirt, the wood, the stone, and the iron.
Yeah, and so Tyrell's just staying on him, not letting him mine.
Yep.
Because the mine cars consume iron, the anvil consumes iron.
Yep. Basically, almost everything consumes iron at this point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't have the material he needs, then he can't use the move.
Yeah. Yeah. Along with the crafting table, if you don't have the material for it, choose the next best thing. But, yeah. Ooh, almost got that side smash with Steve. Okay. But, yeah.
Yeah, so he had the chance to mine a little bit there, but he only got 2 pieces of iron, and he's already down to 1. And now he's back down to 0, and he's basically out of all materials.
Yep. Except that just one block of stone. Just that
And
one
he
block.
doesn't manage to dodge Tyrell's up smash, and so Tyrell takes the first game.
Yeah. So then we move on to our next match where the opponent decided to switch up their character and decided to go for Peach. My opinion, I'm not a fan of them. I just, it feels weird to me at least. But yeah. Anyways, starting off with a few interesting moves.
So Peach is also somewhat a floaty character, but not as much as Sora. And so Tyrell's just staying on the Peach, and the Peach is also staying on Tyrell.
Yep.
So they're both rushing each other down.
Yeah.
They're almost equal in percents, pretty close.
Yeah. Ooh. Almost got that up smash.
Yeah. And then misses the forward smash.
Twice. Dodges the turn up and
Yep.
yeah. And
Hits the up B, but unfortunately,
yeah, it's
the hitbox to grab ledge doesn't connect.
yeah, which at this point we just call or at least what I call the fall of shame.
Because Peach is so floaty, and she has her umbrella on the up B, so she floats around.
Yeah.
And can only just fall slowly.
Yep. But yeah, almost got a kill with a side dash. And got a side dash attack again and got that one killed.
Yeah, so it's a pretty close game, but Tyrell is slightly in the lead.
Yep, in percentage-wise at least. Wait, what? I just said the randomness stuff at all.
And so the Peach tried to use counter there, but Tyrell was ready for it and just avoided entirely.
Yep. But almost got a good dash kill, but
Yeah, and
killed
then
with
up smash.
Yep.
And so he has a pretty sizable lead. He can afford to take some risks.
Yep. It's Peach's counter, which is her just pulling up Toad. The question is this, for me at least, is where is she bringing Toad? In fact, where is she bringing her items? Where is there like an invisible bag at this point? But yeah, limit breaker to death. Ooh, almost died.
Yeah, almost kills.
Yep. Any lower for Cloud and he would have just died right there. But yeah, side smash for the win. Okay then.
And now we go to Emily's games, and she plays Pyron Mithra against a Samus player.
Yep. Yeah.
Samus is known as a zoner in that she uses a lot of projectiles to keep her opponent from reaching her while dealing damage. And so like immediately the Samus starts off with a rocket.
But yeah, got a good grab from there. Through her upstage. Ooh. Let's top the side B.
Pretty good there, a spike
Yep.
into up smash.
Almost killed there. Yeah. Ooh. The missile just ooh, okay. Up B hits. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really hard for characters like Pyron Mithra who don't really have projectiles to get into Samus's range where they can do damage.
Well, except one. Just one projectile, really, but it's like...
Yeah, Samus has more.
more of a projectile use than both Pyro and Mithra combined.
Yeah.
Right now, they're just playing cautiously at this point because neither of them wants to lose the stock at this point.
She almost gets the kill, but gets interrupted by the bomb, and the Samus follows up with a forward smash and gets a kill. And then goes off stage to wait for the invincibility to run out.
Yep.
And again, back to more projectiles.
Just delaying the fall of with bombs, really. But yeah, good grab, followed up with a back throw. And again. Ooh,
Yeah, so Samus's grab range is very long because she has a tethered grab.
Yep.
And then she gets killed because she didn't get immediately back onto the ledge to get invincibility and gets caught by the projectile.
Good with the missile. Ooh, just barely misses that up smash to
Yeah, when Mithra does her side B, she crouches down a little, and so it misses the scooping hitbox for up smash.
Yep.
And then misses again. And then into Pyra with the projectile. Another miss, and then they're just weaving in between each other as the Samus launches projectiles.
Yep. Ooh, good.
But Emily with Pyra is launching projectiles back as well.
Yeah, that's right. Right now, again, we're back at it where the either the one could just die from either one's moves.
And they both slightly miss right there.
Yep. Throws up the sword, hoping to get a good off-edge hit with that. Ooh.
And gets it this time, and it's very close to killing.
Yep.
Probably another hit, but then...
Yeah, Samus just pulls up with front smash, able to get that.
And then Pyro dodges both projectiles, but then gets grabbed.
Yep. Samus just almost died right there. Ooh, free fall with just a bit of time just to charge up a bit. No biggie, but then died.
Yeah. Pyra's forward smash is guaranteed to kill that percent.
Yep. A long, bigger range than Mithra's. A bit.
And Samus's. That's the thing about a sword character is that they have a long sword.
Yeah, which gives them the advantage of close range. But nothing about, well, really far range, really. But, yeah, right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, they're about even once again.
Yep. Which, I don't get how keeps happening. I thought one would just be staying in an advantage for a bit, but get a good
Up B.
yeah, up B. Almost said up smash.
Gets a nice up smash and catches the Samus on the platform. Oh.
Yeah.
Carlos, you must.
But yeah. Starts charging up the energy for when he actually needs it for next time. Ooh, like that. But
yeah, and so that's just projectiles.
yep. Which is, yeah. Right now, they're about even a bit. But yeah.
Yeah, so based on the last game, the Samus is using more projectiles,
Yep. And
charging up charge shot more.
Yep. And seems to be keeping more of a distance at this point right now.
Yeah, they're disengaging from a lot of scenarios,
Yeah.
making sure that they don't get hit and that they can have room to throw projectiles.
Yep. Ooh. Lock on missile. Ooh, that almost got them. Dodge. Ooh, almost died with. Ooh.
The
Yep. The energy orb. Energy ball?
charge shot.
Yeah, charge shot. And
The
energy
partially charged charge shot knocks Pyra just so far back that she can't recover.
Yep. But yeah, starts throwing out missiles, followed up with an energy ball. Ooh.
Just gets caught by the edge of the explosion and
Yep.
doesn't quite die yet.
Yep. So Samus dies right there.
Yeah, once again the up B kills.
Yep. But yeah. Back at it with the same tactic again, charging
Yeah,
and
Emily
missiles.
stayed on the platform that time because she knew to expect projectiles.
Yep. Which at this point, yeah, he's trying to do as much as he can to keep both Mithra and Pyra either on the ground.
Or away.
Yeah. Okay. Nice down aerial. Followed up with side B.
Almost kills with the edge of the explosion for up B.
Yep. Oof. And gets killed by Samus's dash attack.
Yeah, just barely.
Yep.
But an immediate follow up with a side smash.
Yep.
Kills Samus. So they're
Yeah.
almost even.
Yep. Just and Samus accidentally SD because he assumed he had an extra jump. Now then. It's a close match and
Yeah.
oh, go ahead.
Both Emily and Tyrell won, but the opponent team agreed to play set 3 with Jose.
Yep.
And so he played Kirby against a Zelda.
Yep. But yeah. We both practice with each other, helping each other improve upon against our opponents. While I practice helping him against a Zelda, he helped me practice against a Sora. But yeah.
So Zelda is an interesting character because she's kind of similar to Samus in that she zones people out with projectiles, but they're very different projectiles.
Yeah.
Like she can summon that knight and it swings forward and lunges forward.
Yeah.
She also has that fireball. And then she has that crystal thing that forms around her that can also reflect projectiles.
Yep. Along with damage enemies too. Yeah. Up aerial almost kills right there, I believe. Along with the
And-
knight.
Yeah.
But yeah. Ooh, faced the wrong direction for that one. Along with Zelda too. But yeah. They're fairly about same here. Apart from well, Kirby has a little bit more than Zelda. Ooh.
Aw.
Yep.
So, Zelda's forward and back air have a sweet spot that hits very hard and kills.
Yep.
So she hit that, but then didn't put out the up B in time to reach the ledge, and so they both died.
Yep. Which really hurts for both. Because they lost their own stock because of one thing after another. But anyways, yeah. Yeah, for Zelda,
Yeah, so Zelda wants to stay pretty far away to allow the projectiles to start up because the fire thing takes time to travel and the knight has to charge.
yeah. Well, technically, you don't have to charge them all the way. But still,
But for maximum effect, it does need to be fully charged.
true. But yet, in some conditions, Zelda not charging the down B all the way can be really beneficial.
Yeah, and then that projectile with the fireball, she can aim it up or down,
Yep.
and so it hits Jose right as he's about to grab ledge and kills.
Right now, Jose is just trying to get that second stock off Zelda right there. Zelda got a good sweet spot right there, but misses ledge. Just a
Yeah.
megabyte, right? Millibyte. Is that the correct term for length?
No, bytes are like computer memory, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I just compared the length of
More like millimeter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But just slightly too far away, too
Yeah.
far down.
Yeah. Basically, I just compared the length of which to a computer. But yeah, I would say they're about oddly, fairly,
They're pretty even. It's a pretty close match.
yeah. Ooh.
Nice up throw,
Yep. Ooh, tried going for the
up air.
yeah.
Yeah. And then hits him with a partially charged knight.
Yep. Well, almost fully charged knight. Yeah.
And then hits with another knight.
Yeah,
And because
kills-
it's so powerful, it kills.
Yep. Now then, we move on to our second match, which they stood the same. Now figure. But yeah. Anyways,
They're
Zelda-
on.
Yep.
They're on Final Destination now, which is a
Well-
lot better for Zelda because there's nowhere to hide from projectiles.
True. And for Kirby, he doesn't have to worry about the platform getting in the way for his up B or down B. So yeah.
Yeah, so he's just grabbing several times in a row.
Yep.
Doing up throw because that's Kirby's most damaging throw.
For some reason, I thought that was down throw. But yeah, the knight got a good chunk out of the damage out of which. Okay.
Yeah, so the Zelda is trying to kill him while he's off stage with the knight and the
Yep.
fireball.
Kirby, oof, almost misses that down.
Yeah, he tried to go for the spike but missed.
Yeah. Almost like whenever I tried doing down spike with Joker. Missed by a millisecond. But
he tries to go for forward smash, but
yeah.
gets hit by the neutral B, the crystal.
Yep. Zelda almost kind of died right there. But yeah, again, Zelda making some good distance and followed up with that up aerial.
Yeah, Zelda's up air is strong and powerful, but slow,
Yep.
meaning that it can't be really spammed.
Yeah.
And forward air for Kirby almost kills, but then the Zelda misses ledge.
Yep. It's another.
Again with the up B.
Yep. It's another about fairly even here. But yeah. Ooh. Could be use. Twice already. Thrice. Twice. But yeah.
Yeah, so the Zelda is just keeping Kirby off of her.
Mm-hmm. Kirby tried going for down B, hoping that he can probably hit. Ooh, but accidentally gets himself killed because of up B with Zelda's side B. Very deadly. Okay. But yeah. Right now, Zelda has a lead in this for now.
Yeah, he gets another grab with up throw. And so he's being a lot more wary of the neutral B, the crystal, because the Zelda's been doing it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Along with the knights. But
Yeah, Kirby has a much easier time dealing with the knight because he can stay in the air.
Yep. And got neutral air.
Yeah, neutral air is a very powerful kill move for Kirby.
Yep.
And in that case, he killed off the top.
Yep.
But can also kill off the side.
Yep. Basically anywhere if it's around him, basically. Ooh, just a little lower, just a little higher, and probably couldn't have gotten that down spike, probably. Oof. Got hit with both the reflex. The crystal, along with a knight. But,
Yeah, so Jose is unable to approach
Yep.
because of everything that Zelda's doing with the crystal, the knight, the fireballs.
Yep. Ooh, almost died right there. Almost got hit with a knight too. And now...
Another crystal, and then the flame explosion catches him right there.
Yep. So that was all three matches, which the last third match was the training slash for fun. But yeah, Team C had a good time with this. It definitely put them on their feet, but yeah.
So now we're going to switch over to Valorant,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Hey everyone, thanks for waiting. Now we're gonna do Valorant after watching Smash, and I'm Tegan, and this is Micah.
We're going to be going over my gameplay. It's going to be straight in, some funny moments, just. And if you hear my comms, it's going to be very quiet, but it'll be my voice, just same thing. Just if you want to pay attention to what we're saying in game, it's going to be on a lower tone than us.
So we start off the match a bit late because he forgot to start his recording. So we're gonna start into the very beginning of this round as we try to rush into the objective.
Our goal was just take site as no one had pure guns or abilities. Just claim as much space as we can and get plan off. Just overwhelm as much as we can.
See, Micah kind of misses almost all of his shots on that one Sova, but we still end up taking over the site.
You gonna blame me for running and gunning? I got the people behind me. I'm just the bullet magnet here.
So as you can see, I'm starting to put up my trips and try to allow us to hold the spacing a bit more, and he's trying to block their vision to make it so it makes it harder for them to push in.
I'm trying to figure out if I need to block window for us or block behind Ray so he doesn't get flanked on. Ray is our Reyna, Taz is our Raze, and I'm Omen. Brendan, our Super Time Rocket, is Fade, and Tegan here is our Cypher.
So we win the first round, and we're thinking we should probably go with more of a buy since they're still going to be on their pistols. And we're thinking of also, once again, doing the same strategy.
Taz, since he got a Sheriff last round that acts like a Guardian and stuff, it's just very accurate, very good all around, except for close range, like SMG fights. But he's known to hit his shots.
So we don't doubt him most of the time. As you can see, I was sitting there crouching, like picking up something. That's an ult orb. It allows me to get my ult faster. And what my ult does is if someone's dead, then I can scan them, and it allows it to show like the whole team's location. Enemy teams.
One enemy remaining.
If you didn't know what happened during that push, 2 people on site, Sova in hallway, and then KJ back. I blinded, and then Tegan rushed in with the blind.
As you can see, he teleported up there to regather with the team and try to hold angles on where this Viper might be coming from. I'm still on site, just trying to wait for Viper to push up to kill her.
I went flank just to hold him there, and then save Tegan because he whiffed at that very moment.
I missed a lot of shots on that one Viper.
We're going into a save round as or a bonus round, not a save, as everyone saved their guns, and then we didn't want to waste any more credits, so we had enough for next round.
So I did the funny thing of forgot to buy armor, so I'm running in there with only health, and that kind of screws me over in the end.
Our plan was to fake make noise A, so that way we might be able to catch them like mid-rotate but off-site. But Taz losing his 1v1 at the very start.
So at this point, we're kind of confused on what we want to do. We just lost somebody, so we're trying to sit around and see if they'll push up so we can get a free kill.
I'm over here trying to hold flank. And there's not much noise going on, and then I don't know if I need to smoke anything or not.
Smoke ends up coming to kind of bite us because we end up getting one of our players picked off because of it.
The Jet again. Those darn Jet and their dashes always going in for a free pick whenever they can.
Cover going out.
I smoke off mid so we can hit a rotate, but the smoke didn't cover what I wanted it to.
Yeah. So as you can see, we were kind of just planning to use that as a rotate, but they ended up seeing us, so we just kind of start to rush it.
30 seconds
Which
left.
probably didn't help us in the end because they had a lot of util there still.
We were just trying to get as much space as we could. KJ having her stuff still set up there didn't help on the move in.
Yeah, as you can see, I'm like spamming all my util around, trying to get it set up real quick for us to still be able to push and make it
Last
play.
player standing.
Then we start getting picked off one by one.
The pick on KJ was heard her shooting at Ray as he was moving up because she was blocking him to keep him in the 1v1. And then Tegan tried to sneak around, see if he can pick someone off while they're walking onto site.
I ended up getting shot just because my crosshair was a bit off from where they were. So, I guess they're like doing something around the spike. They're just probably thinking who's gonna get the extra ult point from it, because once whoever defused spikes gets an extra charge to their ult.
At least we got plan off for the extra cash going into the next round. It helped.
Since we did that bonus round, it allows us to still get a full buy even though we lost. And for anyone else who died, they can't even full buy themselves, so it gives us a little bit more of an advantage. A full buy is when you buy armor, a rifle, and all of your abilities.
Shadows traveling.
So in this, we're thinking about like trying to push up on the tower area and make, like clear the area and just get an advantage up there. You can see here, Micah throws a blind to try to make it so we can push in.
I go and clear ropes while the rest of the team just, oh, the nasty headshot on Jet while going down. Our teammates go and clean up their spawn side, which had the rest of them.
And so I finish off with planting. If you plant the spike, you always get like 300 extra credits. So it's always good to, even if you win the round, just get a plant off.
So here we're trying to figure out what site we go to. I think we decided on...
I think this is when we decided to do the default, which is when you have two people on pushing the main site, and then most of the time having either one other person push on site or hold mid/flank.
At the start of the game, I look at the scoreboard a ton, just see the money and stuff, so...
As you can see at B, we have a lot of people pushing, and we get to pick off 3 of them. So I pop my ult here to check if it's safe to push onto B. And we realize they're mid on B site, so we're just like, oh, if we move around to the other site where it's cleared, we can make an easy push and get to hold it all down. Mike is here holding robes because he saw that they were all mid, so he's just going to try to hold it.
I think he pulled for a rotate instead of B.
Yeah.
It's just easier to hold on to what you can. Since we already owned A, they pulled over just so we didn't lose anyone. And then Brendan's coming in back because we swapped sides. He gets picked off by a frenzy. We had the Vandal advantage, not the frenzy.
So Micah decides to move up, and so does Ray or Reyna on their spawn side. And as you see, they picked up his rifle and picked him off. So Micah's going to try to rotate on over to tower to hold an angle there.
Here, I'm going to wait for the call out to see if they go window, because if they go window, I can easily pick them off behind. But if they go anywhere else, it's going to take me some time, but I still have the height advantage.
So here the spike's about to go off, so we all just like run away so we don't have to lose any of our weapons. And that's our 5th round one, or 4th round, our 4th round, 5th round one.
You don't need nightmare powers to see them shake.
Going into the next round, one of them can't buy, but the rest of the team can. So it's up to them if they save. I think Jet ults and buys their teammate is the best thing they can do for that round. Well, we're getting close on ultimates, having one already into the round. Breach starting off with the stun, Ray honoring with the blind so they didn't push up. I block off up top so we can get a clear push in. Breach showing his position down below. I throw a blind and rush.
An easy click. So this is the point where we start kind of trying to rush on the side a bit. I throw down my smokes and then I start planning. What ends up happening is I get hit with a Viper Molly, which starts damaging me a little bit over time. And I get a nice hit with like nice headshot on this Silva.
One enemy remaining.
Brendan just fell on the smoke timing and got popped.
Still in sight.
Yeah, what
Ray's
happens here is
trying to help Tegan out, but he revealed his position, getting him killed.
as you can see here, I'm just trying to hold this area down while she pushes. And I try to round it right as I hear her pushing, but it was already too late and she shot me. Yeah.
Clutch.
What, she shot you right before or when she got into the corner, she started shooting, hitting you in the side.
Yeah, as you can see, 9,000 is the maximum credits you can have, so a lot of us had a lot of money to spend. So we're just trying to figure out of a plan what we can do next. And I think at this point, this is when we start to think maybe we should rush down B.
As we didn't do that a lot, and they seem to be more prepared towards A. Because the A site just felt so easy to go through at the start. So I go off holding mid while they try to get a pick before moving on.
So he ends up going to smoke up top, so then it makes it easier for us to clear sight.
I start getting ready to move in if team starts moving in.
They're holding corners tight.
But they decide to move back as we made enough noise B already to cause a commotion.
Yeah, because what ends up happening is I threw down my camera to have a peek of what's happening, and there was like 3 of them all hiding on the site, so we're just like, oh, we should probably take this time to move around.
I made noise running through mid, and so they already know I'm there, but Ray silently walked up, so I started walking away, so that way he can get the pick. I turn around just to hold him there, just so I don't die and get
30
rushed
seconds left.
in case Ray whips. KJ tries to hold me on ropes, just gets obliterated. And then Ray hurries up to catch up, so it's not a 1v1.
Yeah, as you can see here, the Jet and Viper are both over there, and we're just trying to like hold it down, just make it so they won't push.
And Ray gets the headshot on Viper, and I'm lucky I threw down that smoke before jumping down.
And that she didn't shoot you as it was going down.
Yeah, that was one tap.
So we all start like trying to reposition to hold down areas where this Jet might be at. And the spike's gonna go off pretty soon. So we all start to leave to make it so we can still stay.
I didn't pay attention to the thing, or I was waiting for smoke, one or the other, because of where Jet was previously.
And he ends up dying to spike.
The 2 HP clutch by tap.
Here is the enemies making a timeout to try to like talk and figure out what to do next. We end up doing that a little bit, but not too much.
And just their team, like, I think their coach wanted them to do the timeouts because they used all their timeouts throughout the entire match. Just like,
We just kind of figured out what was going well, and I think their coach wanted them to try to figure out, since the timeout is just like we just have to sit there for a minute trying to think in what we're going to do next. He wanted them to try to figure out how they could try to counter us. So we've realized we've been pushing site a ton, and they probably won't have that much going, like, defense down mid. So we think if we try to go push down mid, we'll probably make an easy, like, way onto site.
now as we wait for the timer to move down, all of us have full buy. Most of us have our ults, I believe. Like, Taz has his ult, you can see on the right. Brendan doesn't have his. Tegan has his, and then Ray has his. I have mine.
So So if you look up at the top where you see like all the characters like icons, then with that like yellow box shows that they have the ult, and if it turns to like a bluish green, then it means that they're using it.
For mine, it's yellow.
I'm just gonna keep spikes A.
Here we have Tegan dropping the spike before pushing up mid, just so no one has it in case we lose it. It's
Yeah.
just easier to regain if we leave it somewhere first.
Since we had 4 people all going down mid, since I had spike, I had to make sure that if I died, then it wouldn't be in a spot where we couldn't regain it.
And then we didn't really calm out where we were going, and so I smoked for an A push, and they ran through B.
Yeah, as you can see, he uses his ult, which allows him to teleport to try to regroup with us. But then he's like, no, I think I'll just go on the flank.
I mean, I was already behind them. It would have been a lot more efficient. Because they don't know I'm behind them.
Yeah.
I made 0 noise, and you guys hard pushed and just caused so much commotion, air rattling, and gone like, what should we do next?
So he already knows where the Jet's at, and she's up in tower, so all he needs to do is just check out little corners and then he's good.
Tegan almost swiping it from me, but I was just a tad bit faster.
Yeah, on my screen I was about to headshot her, and then all of a sudden he just took it. I'm like, well, okay then.
Task complete.
So we decided to go back to just pushing onto the site once again and hope that they'll try to even out their defenses a bit more, so then it makes it easier to push onto one site. I think about doing the same thing where I leave Spike there and try to go get mid control. But I think, do you pick it up right? Yeah, you pick it up.
Well, we shall see, as I do not remember this exact moment. I was holding main so that way no one would peek as those two try to clear ramp. Then I go for the basic smokes, the window and long. Because those give us a ton of free space moving on, but the Viper wall blocks off main. But there is that cubby there to let us in. I am forced to sit and wait as our teammates went up ramp to go clear up top.
So Brendan tried to push in through mid to try to get on to like somewhat of a flank, but ends up getting killed. As I'm still sitting there, I'm able to get 2 free kills from it. And you can see that they're slowly pushing on a site as they don't know where anyone else is.
One's tower, one's rope still.
When I see windows clear from minimap, I move on. Just try and get free plant, but then Sova just says no. Our teammates going over and rushing Sova mid ult because they got a pick right as Sova ulted, just causing it for Sova just to focus on me and not realize that his teammate's dead.
Yeah, because Silva's ult allows him to shoot things through walls, but that's the only thing he can use, and it has like a charge up time. So you can sometimes either dodge it or you can get rushed pretty easily while in the middle of it.
And that's why you want a teammate guarding you, but if you aren't going to pay attention to if teammates live, then it's going to be a severe consequence, as that's just a free kill.
As you see here, Mike is trying to hold like an angle just in case somebody pushes out and tries to get a pick.
Like normally they're yet because Taz just failed last time.
So what ends up here is Viper pops her ult to try to make it so we won't push in from main. So we end up trying to just go through mid instead.
But I'm pretty sure we heard a ton of footsteps just quick rotating over to hold other side.
So we just started to try to slowly push in. I tried to give him like a little bit of smoke so he could push in, but it was a really bad one.
Then Tegan left me for a second, even though I had spike. Just push with me.
Yeah, I'm used to having spike most of the time, so I just completely forgot about it.
And thankfully for them pushing up, get shot and then ran, I was able to keep up with that.
So he ends up going to try to plant spike, and I try to hold out of the smoke for him. as well as I throw a little smoke myself for there. But I end up getting shot from, like, I think the right side of where I was aiming before. And so now I try to move off because I'm like, afraid. And I end up pushing this killjoy around the corner, but I get killed because I was super low.
She's still holding.
It just right now we're in a weird position because we know some of them, but just their angling's getting weird. Silva drops down straight into my shots, and then Breach was able to peek to help. And then Breach ran out into the open instead of trying to stick towards cover, leading to his death.
Anyone feeling generous? They shake your life. Thank you.
So I think it was at this point we kind of started getting a little bit cocky. Because we're just like, man, their coach is probably talking so much about them, blah, blah, and then you were like commenting about their gameplay. And then we literally lose the next 2 rounds.
So we go back to holding main. I'm trying not to get in Taz's way so he can get the shot off, hopefully this time.
I'm trying to hold mid just in case they're thinking of pushing through, but then I back off to go with team.
As our plan was full push site. I'm waiting for everyone to ready up.
So once we go, you'll see Brendan, he pops his ult, and that's what that red line on the map shows. And we realized there was only one on site. I decided to go and push up since no one else was. And
I went to blind up top, but the one on site was behind pillar, just catching me off guard and killing me.
So this is the point where the enemy Breach popped his ult and threw us all off, and I got picked from one of the snipers.
Taz lucky enough to have his satchels to save him. Gets a double pick, but just gets pushed too hard for himself to handle.
So we ended up losing this one, and the Jet ended up popping her ult right as we all died, wasting it. So we kind of talked about that and made fun of it for a bit.
Last round in the half.
Because she popped it like right as Taz got rushed and just died. Just same timing, just don't know why. Because they could have double peeked it instead of popping it. But they kept just single peeking it. Like if Taz was more prepared and not disoriented, they could have lost that hard.
Alright, I'll pick bottom then.
So here Micah decides to smoke ramp and heaven, which I think probably was not the best play, but
We did it for a straight push on.
yeah. So we do the same thing as we did like the first couple rounds, but the killjoy kind of predicted it, so she put her setup right in our path. I try to get a plant on so we can try to take control really easily.
I finished clearing the rest of site, and then Brendan pushes up. We get blinded, and I try to save him with the smoke, but that doesn't save him. That leads me to pick.
Yeah, I think Brendan may have overextended a bit. So we see we have Taz there trying to pick it with a pop. And I had a shotgun, but ended up dying because I didn't get all my pellets to hit him.
We looked at this several times. The enemy ended up on 13 HP at the very end. Just like one more tap and they were gone.
Switching sides.
So now we're swapping sides, and we're thinking about like how we're gonna deal with now that we're defending it. And I go set up at my site that I normally do, which is A, and end up messing up my placement of the smoke 3 times here.
Or do you want to hold mid horn?
I'm here looking at all the guns and stuff for our team, just making sure our damage output would be fine. As I am the shot caller for this team, we're slowly getting better on everyone telling like comms and stuff, but it's a steady grind towards that.
So I have my camera set here to check if anyone's pushing from main, which we don't see any, and also I think we just call out that they're pushing B. So Mike goes over to rotate while I still kind of hold down sight a little bit, just in case they think of rotating.
Ray goes out to hold mid, so I can rotate across, which I always love when we do that because it's a lot more helpful than having the people rotating over just peek out and get shot at.
Yeah, as we see now, they're like heavy pushing on the site, and I'm like, oh, I can't be here anymore, and I try to rush back through.
I drop down, but then Viper drops all of her things as I do, and I get lit.
Yeah, I did the same thing right after you did, and then I got killed myself. Yeah.
Here Taz ran out right as he got scanned, leading to his death through the smoke.
And here we see Ray try to push up as the other person's still standing there. Gets headshot, and then he'll die by getting... Does he get headshot again or no? Just double body shot.
Yeah, just like the first whiff, he just needed to move his mouse that tiny bit, and then he'd hit more. He probably could have won that fight. It just, you gotta move your mouse, man. The mouse is the best way to aim. Here we're trying to figure out if full shield or light shields and a full save, or just how we're gonna do it.
So how I did it is I just went with full util and a light shield, which ends up like screwing me over next round because then I can't full buy with the rest of the team.
I just went enough for 4K, which is heavy shields and a rifle, even if we lose.
Once again, I say that I haven't spotted anyone A, and I start to kind of go on a road, like on a flank. Grab the ult orb, and then continue on it.
Viper uses the same strat, so I just move over with team instead of just sitting up top alone, blinded.
He ends up getting 2 here, but Juan peeks out, Taz peeks out, and almost gets killed. Ends up dying there.
And then here's the after effects of the flank. He runs back towards mid after getting some shots off, it looks like.
Yeah, I ended up shooting the Killjoy's turret and acted like I was rotating through mid. But then just to come back slowly. I end up peeking out, no one's there. And you'll see as soon as I peek to the right, someone spots me in the back.
Last player standing.
Pulled out the knife, just bad timing. Your reaction was faster than you thought.
He ends up grabbing the gun to try to use it against them, but then dies.
Like for Ray right there, if he just stayed in the line of healing, he probably could have dealt like more damage or won the next fight.
So here everyone full buys, but I have to try to save. But then they convince me to buy a rifle, which ends up screwing me even more next round.
It's like, we're all broke either way, might as well just full send it, man.
So I believe I was the only one that died this round.
I wait for noise.
Yeah, and this is when I calm. Oh yeah, they're full pushing onto A.
They start noticing the camera in later rounds, which doesn't help Tegan out as he needs the camera.
So what I ended up doing right there was picking it up before they could shoot it so I could hopefully redeploy it sooner. Because all that camera I really use it for is just detection in the beginning. You get picked off though as the jet rushes you. I try to peek out and then there was 4 of them and I'm like, oh no, and died.
Like, I don't know why I went back down ropes, just like in case they rush, because they started making a lot of noise going up ramp, so I started going down, but they cut the noise.
You can see here Brendan ends up trying to go through mid to rotate, but they had the same idea, so he ends up getting 2 and another after this, but then dies to Sova.
Yeah, he got rushed hard. I'm trying to view everyone, give out the comms properly.
Yeah, they were kind of delayed on their rotate, and Taz decided to try to go back to make sure they weren't trying to fake it, but Ray ends up carrying the plant. Look at a pick here, and then Taz gets the last one on Tower.
Like, you'll see Ray's just crosshair just always on that head. It's just like, I'm questioning why that wasn't a headshot at all.
as you can see there, Taz was throwing his satchels to get him off from defusing as a joke.
It's because we ran through them straight after the plant. They could not just do anything about that. It was just a free ult charge for us.
Yeah, what ends up here is me and Micah both don't have enough for like an actual buy, so we both go on a save while the rest are full buying.
I go to control mid as we're changing up positions. So I buy a shotgun just for a quick throw, I believe.
Yeah, you went and chose Sheriff. So I think
A shotgun probably would have been better. We don't know.
yeah, I think this is the round where they.
Silva starts rushing through mid.
Yeah, this is the moment where they started to kind of rush through mid a bit more, and he ends up barely missing his shot on him. Look.
KJ throws her thing, just slow me down. And then, right as Silva peaks, I pre-fired a tad bit too soon. Could have been a clean shot if I waited like a millisecond later.
Spike planted.
So I'm starting to rotate through mid as well to try to get a pick since he said there might be one or two tower. As you can see, Taz has already cleared it, but I was like trying to push on a site to help us gain the quick advantage. I'll end up just barely missing my shot on this Viper, but I end up dying to her. Brennan barely dies.
Here
Taz tries to rush site.
Here it's just we didn't have the information when moving on, so we got picked off one by one, slowly getting it. Taz is just getting stuck in a corner over and over again.
Yeah, what ends up happening is the Jet just kind of gets a lucky shot off and then dies to Spike.
Okay, I'm gonna swap sides.
Trying to run away from the bombardment of the bomb.
So here, most of us have enough to full buy, but I think we go on to more.
We go on to save because everyone's buying light shields, and so it's might as well just save it, not force it too much. Because it'll help our economy later on.
And the save is when you try to, like, as in the name, save your credits so then you can get a better buy later on.
I throw a far smoke, then start rotating when I see them, but
Yeah.
just Solo was ready with his gun.
So, as you can see, I'm on site just waiting for them to push with my Pucky out. And I end up getting 2 kills here and almost a third.
We have the other two slow rotating over, so he's trying to defend this by himself at the current time.
You'll see me constantly get on and off my camera to just try to balance out everything. I think those two get... Well, I just wanted to pick up that tower.
And Viper, we
the
question
Viper.
where he's looking.
And then I die from a little random jump shot that Breach had.
He just clearly mowed you down, just the clear, just left to right slow look.
So as you can see, when he opens his menu, you can see how much the enemy's credits are in total. You can also see if everyone has their
That's the
ult.
last one.
So everyone on our team and their team has their ult, and then we talked about that right before timeout activated.
So we're just sitting there thinking, okay, how are we going to deal with this? Because we know their play style is they like to sit back for a little bit. As soon as they get like a lot of vision block, then they instantly start to rush in with util. And we're thinking how we're going to try to counter this.
We end up asking for their Twitch because we versed them at a previous game, and that was our loss as we were so new to the game that we just got rammed through.
Yeah, everyone has ult.
At least 2 of them were from the old team. And then, yeah, last season game, just didn't know what we were doing.
So we ended up like going from this timeout to like kind of just we were kind of doing the same strategy as last time, but I think we swapped it up a little bit with our place, like where we were at.
Our goal was to counter their ults with our ults when they pushed on, because it seemed like that was going to be the high probability chance. Just to tie it up right now, as the score is 9-8.
Delayed, yeah. Yep, they're here.
So I warn the team that they're pushing A, and then I back off to try to hold down mid. Yeah, we were up by 8-2, and then it became 9-8. They won a lot of those first attacking rounds.
I go over through mid, check real fast, blind ramps so that way they don't push up. And then we have Brendan ult just to start clearing them out.
So as you can see, there's a lot of them all pushing up on ramp area. But it probably would have been better if we used some of our Yuto to get in there and get a couple picks. We end up just sitting back and waiting.
It forces them to rotate as we have them blocked off. And I hear them running through sewer as I'm the farthest out.
He ends up getting 1 or 2 picks here on the guys who are rotating. And the rest of us are able to clean it up.
30 seconds left.
It was Taz who ran up there first, I believe, dying. And then I tried to jump back, but Wormple's just apparently there, split off from team.
I get a pick on that Jet, and here comes Juan using his showstopper, that's his ult, to then blow up the killjoy that he sees right there as well as her ult.
1 enemy remaining.
Gaining us sight, and then since Tegan's Cypher, he just starts putting down trips to slow him just in case it would push.
Yeah, so I end up holding this little angle to see if Breach tries to push out and pick off Juan, but he ends up defusing and Breach just kind of gets a couple shots out to try to kill him.
Those shots were not even close, gotta say. Here we go on to the next round. I go for a save as I cannot buy a Vandal, and then Brendan I think also does. We were the only two who couldn't buy anything, so the rest of the team had full buys, so we were going to rely on them mainly.
Bad choice trying to rely on me. A lot of my aim was off that day.
A lot of my aim was off that day as well. A ton of my kills were spray kills.
So as you saw there, if you were looking at the mini-map, like Brendan threw a Haunt, which is like a little scan thing that his character has, and was able to scan half the team, so we start getting on an early rotate to try to counter them.
I throw a blind so they don't push, so our team can rotate even better. And just, I keep dropping down and taking that 15 damage. It's always there.
Doesn't seem like that much until, you know, you get shot at and you realize it only takes them 3 shots till you're dead.
They started to sound like they were rotating, all sound was cut, and then we had Tegan, Taz sitting and waiting.
I threw down my camera to check and I saw them, but they instantly shot it.
I was gonna be the last one to rotate just in case they faked it, but they ended up full forcing it at the end.
Yeah, you can see I kind of get, he throws an amazing smoke right there, first of all. And, oh, we get to see the amazing play of him walking past the enemy and then throwing a smoke.
I'm looking elsewhere right now. Just don't, like, minimap wasn't on my view chart. The door was. I'm over here just looking at where I'm aiming.
But what about the red you saw when you literally
Yeah.
I didn't see Chet. That's the thing.
The whole, he saw the whole body highlighted for a second. And then he's just like, teammate.
Better to throw us smoke.
I'm like, that's a teammate. We'll leave that be. They got this. They'll hold it properly.
I just find it funny how long it took the Jet to kill him.
Yes. Also embarrassing for the Jet.
The Jet jumped down off of the jump scare.
I think it would have been 10 times better if the Jet thought he was also a teammate. It was just like pushed, like as like he was moving up, she would move up with him or something.
It would have been such amazing game.
So we see here that they're doing an even like slower push. He tries to get like a pick off using his blind, but just backs off.
Here, I couldn't tell, but they kept shooting bullets through, so I just started spraying just in case they started walking over towards ramp. And they do end up just full forcing ramp and ignoring my smoke.
Thankfully, Ray gets a double kill, and then also they get to fully pick off the rest of them. And then I'm just back here like, oh yeah, nice job, guys.
They didn't pay attention to my teleport up, causing the jet to just not pay attention, and then Viper was off doing their own thing, trying to deal with the rope.
Guy with the nice crisp 14 damage over there.
Hey, that wall bang, I'm gonna question how I even went through that wall. Because it was so far out, like that thickness just would have stopped the bullet completely.
So I think we end up losing this round actually. As we we're just like, oh, we got this. We just need one more win.
Sova is droning mid.
I move up for orb and to start clearing. Or I skip leg day and skip the orb. They started hard pushing through tower, it seems like, and then the front of B started getting hit.
Yeah, I tried to back off because I was getting pinched from both sides, and then I missed all my shots on that Sova.
I start coming up behind up tops, in with Taz on the other side, clearing it bit by bit.
I think he threw that smoke to try to make him check and watch that area to make sure he wasn't pushing through. But then misses all those shots in the breach.
You'll see about a few more times of that.
I think it's just he didn't have the right weapon skin. He just had to swap for a second.
Yeah. Just wrong weapon skin, you know, the classic would have hit more, like totally, in that situation.
So what ends up happening is they need to back off site because the spike's about to go off and they can't push.
And now we know that they're gonna go Odin.
I just hold smoke just in case they started trying to push, as it ended right on smoke. The bomb did.
So here we just start going on to another full buy.
Yeah.
And I swap sites just in case they try to go onto this side again.
But they might try to
After seeing all my setup on B.
I go to mid as we already have two on both sides. And I think Ray was going to join me mid for a peek. Was the plan. But then they end up just sending it. I think.
I think this is the round where they kind of full sended B a bit, but we end up Ray gets 2 picks here.
We'll see. We got the smoke blocking them off, me holding mid, clearing it, our teammates rotating through spawn. They made a lot of noise. Pagan moves back to hold A just in case.
Because we've seen them rotate so much that I just want to make sure that they didn't try to rotate off this.
Taz with the grenade and then rifle kill, causing them to move back and question the push forward.
So I throw a trip mid and then go all the way back to just full watch A.
I can hold here. I can hold here.
And I think what ends up happening is I do get a pick on one of them when they started pushing.
Taz is almost done clearing, and then with Tegan on camera, they started making noise B. And so I rotate a tad bit slowly, not realizing Tegan has trip on the right side until I peeked. But Ray gets a pick. One got on site, but Brendan got him.
This is the round where the last person got 4 kills. It almost killed Taz at the very end.
10 seconds left.
Like, he just head tapped everyone. I moved towards smoke, trying to hold it, and then I get rushed. Just clean headshot, nothing more.
He legitimately plants a spike as the round ends, and we barely win.
Just like my freak out with his headshot just did not help him. And then that was a good game. Just need a little bit more strategy for their pushes. They need to get used to some things. Weren't they higher rank, like a few of them?
There was 2 of them. I think there was one that was diamond, and there was another that was gold 1 or 2. And a lot of our players are silver to gold range. We have one plat.
One plat, silver, gold's just a diamond, and just they got hit hard from lower ranks. Just don't know what to say.
And so what ends up happening I think the main problems we made that game were just we weren't playing well together at some points, and we ended up not we gave up too much when they started a full push onto site. Instead of using a lot more of our util to hold them back or just create space for us, we just ended up trying to either push directly on or just got shot.
And then their coach is a higher rank than ours. He doesn't even play comp. Theirs just hit Diamond 1, I believe, or something like that.
Yeah.
Just, we're teaching ourselves out here. They have someone teaching them properly, it looks like.
I just tell you guys to talk to each other more. That's all I tell you ever. And then I say good job when you shoot people in the face.
Plus, one other thing I think I want to point out at the very end of that is when we rewatched the stream, they weren't talking as much. So I think that's the one advantage we had was just more communication.
Yeah, the only people talking were just chatting basically, like casually. The girls just did like the screeching every now and again, acting surprised, all that. And then there's one boy I only heard once for comms, and then he was being serious, just all that. But he only talked once, like he cannot communicate with his team.
Well, thanks for watching, everyone. That's what we finally ended it, and now we're not going to keep rambling. So we're finally.
We won't talk about how bad their team was towards the end, Earl.